Hi guys, I'm Jasmine Omboi and welcome to Mwalimu Kipepeo. Have you ever wondered what it takes to land a role in a movie? Well, today's episode is just for you because it's all about acting. We shall be joined by the very talented Alfred Munywa, who has been on the acting scene for almost 2 decades now. If you want to see more of what he does, please go to our Facebook page, Mwalimu Kipepeo, and make sure to watch and like the video I posted as a teaser for this episode. Let's begin. I'm one of those few students who enjoyed studying poetry in school. While in high school, I wrote many poems with the hope of someday getting them published into a book. My poems were written in an exercise book, complete with 2 forwards from my best friend, Hamida Alpha, and my boy from the hood at that time, who I believed was a very good judge of talent and character. Unfortunately, my poetry book did not see the light of day, as someone decided to steal my book filled with all my several years of intellectual property. One thing I got right, though, was my forward writers, who are still very close friends of mine to this day. My boy from the hood is my guest today, and he will be speaking to us about his journey through his acting career. Alfred Munywa is an award-winning actor whose confidence is on another level. And I'll tell you this, yeah. I was a girl who used to hang around guys a lot. But he's one of the few guys who managed to warm up to my mother, even after being given that harsh look that mothers give to guys visiting their daughters. Well, let's now get the story of his acting career from the horse's mouth. Alfie, karibu sana to Mwalimu Kipepeo. Many people know you as Swapo on Mother-in-Law and also acting at Makutano Junction. I can't remember what role you were playing. It was a while back, yeah? Well, tell us a little bit about your journey.
My career started way before Makutano Junction, actually, and Mother-in-Law. Before those two, I was, and still, I'm doing professional theater performances. I used to do them at Allianz and the National Theater in Phoenix back then. And before that, I was doing high school and teacher training colleges set books, where we traveled to hundreds of schools and teacher training colleges all over the country. Yeah, so we started way back, 2005, I think. Yeah, so anyway, since Mother-in-Law and Makutano Junction, I've been involved in a number of projects, both local and international, TV and film. For TV, I've participated in local TV programs across the board. I mean, from Mnet, Sunrise, to Keru, to Sumula Penzi, among others, and then to Fox Life's Wrath. To Star Times. I've done a show for Star Times called Ngazi. I've done KTN's Baba Yao, to NTV's Pendo, Janet Abel, among many other local TV programs. In the film sector, I've been blessed and honored with to work with the likes of Naomi Harris, who's an acclaimed Hollywood actress. Actually, she came to Kenya back in 2011. Yes, we did a movie called The First Grader. Naomi Harris has done quite a lot. She's been in the Pirates of the Caribbean, actually. She was the witch. She's done James Bond's Skyfall, among other big projects, and it was such an honor to share the screen with her. And locally also I've been blessed to work with industry greats like Raymond Ofula, Brian Ogola, Caroline Midimo, Mkamze Mwatela, Sarah Ndanu, Kate Kamau, Justin Mirichi, Sarah Hassan. I mean, the list is endless, but I've been blessed to work with each and every, not all of them, but with most of the acclaimed actors and directors and producers that are in the industry as of now. And I thank God for this chance and purpose that I do not regret ever venturing into.
As a teacher of literature, we are required to teach drama in schools. And at some point, I was an adjudicator at the zonals of the inter-school drama festivals. And some of the great talents that stood out for me at the time have now turned out to be some of Kenya's best talents. So would I be right to say that the foundation of acting in school helped in giving you a stepping stone into your career?
Of course, school played a major role in shaping and humbling me to the level that I became teachable afterwards. It also gave me confidence and belief in myself because I aced in the drama competitions every time, and this gave me a lot of morale and self-belief that I can do more. So, diving deep into professional theater right after set book performances and everything was quite a plus for me, and it was sort of an advantage because I was already in the zone, if I may say. I was already in it, and so yeah, it gave me a lot of confidence and psych to venture into the more professional setup of theater and later TV and film.
So what is the first thing that you do the moment you land a role? When you get a role, what is that first thing that you do?
What I do when I get an audition post that interests me, I first pray about it. Then I tell my mom about it. I tell you the truth, she has to know. And then I go through the audition brief. I read the instructions very carefully and practice out for the audition. Then I attend the auditions. And then I leave the rest to God. I mean, that's all it takes. Well, it's worked for me, so I can boldly say so. It only takes God, you know? Yeah, so that's all it takes.
So what are some of the biggest challenges you have faced in this career?
Uh, the challenges, wow. The challenges are unending, I must say. And I thank God that the rewards are worth the pain and the struggle and the strife and the going through the mud. It's quite very hard to be an actor in Kenya and have that as a sustaining income earner, to say the truth. Because our job is not even recognized by the government. We are yet to be declared as and rated as a profession and accorded all that pertains to the definition of the term. I mean, the rates are always relative, the working conditions are relative, we have no job class, we do not really, we're not really, we don't have a system, we do not have a process, we do not have a set of guidelines and conditions to govern our trade in Kenya. So that's why people on the road are like, hey, how can I get into this thing of yours? I'm like, it's a profession. You don't just wake up and decide today I'm gonna act. It's a process. There's training involved. There's work. There's a lot of input, and so that's a major challenge because even in when you go back home in the village and you're asked, what do you do in Nairobi or whatever it is that you are, to say that you're an actor or script writer in your mother tongue, guys are like, you play, you write what skits, like it's yet to be entrenched in the minds of the government and the Kenyans and everyone. We are yet to see the depth and the importance of this craft. So that's one major challenge that we have to overcome every day, on stage or on screen and off. Yeah, so even on the sets, the crew kind of wanna degrade the actor, kind of wanna make them feel less of themselves, and it's quite a pain. So yeah, we it's a struggle, but we thank God because we have the grace and we have the patience to wait it out and know that one day everything will be seen as it is. Another challenge will be middlemen and brokers who call themselves, okay, we have serious casting agents, but we have others who just brokers and middlemen, and what they do is that they lower the rates. They lower the rates that the artists are offered, and in most cases, the rates offered to artists from the client are not the true rates that the actor deserved. So this mistrust over time has made artists underact because they already know that by the time they get on set, they have been given a raw deal or they have been underpaid, so they can't do much about it. So at the end of the day, we get a bad performance, we get bad pay, bad relations, and at the end of the day, everybody loses. You get, except the middlemen who cash out on the actors on basis of corruption, if I may say. Yeah. And the third challenge, major one, is maybe consistency of work. Consistency of work is really hard because you can't ever know, you can't ever know what when's the next job? You never know. So there's no consistency of work.
How would you encourage someone who wants to get into acting?
First of all, acting is not something that you get into, as I had said a bit earlier. It has to come from inside, not from out. It's not something you get. It has to be a burning desire. It has to be a sort of calling, if I may say so. It's a God-given talent, first of all. It's not a skill that you earn. What you do is that you hone the talent, you make it a bit more structured, but you have to have it first in most cases. Some wing it, some I don't know. But for me and for the consistent and long-serving acts that I've seen, it always starts with the talent, and then the talent is taken to school and it is taught and it is structured, and then a performance is made out of the character. That's what I think, and that's what I believe. And acting is not easy at all. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's the hardest thing that you could ever do. It takes hard work. It takes discipline and big memory. And those are just the primary requisites. After you have the talent, you need to have so much grace. You need to have so much drive to endure and to withstand the constant beat downs that are planned upon us, be it mentally, be it whichever way, because we are the act. We manage our act. We bargain for the rates for our act. Like, we are one institution in every person. So it takes a lot out of a person. It really does. And it also needs endurance. I mean, being a different person every other day and still remembering who you are is quite something, because I've done a myriad of roles. I've been a pastor, I've been a thief, I've been a gangster, I've been a cop, I've been a crazy person. I've done roles across the board that sometimes when I watch or when people watch are like, Alfie, man, wow, man, like, so I thank God. But it's not easy. It's not something you just wake up and step in. It's not a business venture. It is, but it needs more than just choice and just, trying it out. It's not something you just try it out. And it's not there. I mean, if you want to do it for the fame, I don't know. It's not going to be long term, because I've never done this for the fame. I can't say I hate it, but I never did it for the fame, so I never realize sometimes when I become too available, too friendly to people, they're like, Alfie, when it's celeb, man, I'm like, oh, so why you're doing it is also a very major vibe. Why are you doing it? Is it because you want to do it? Is it because you want to be famous? Is it for the money? Or are you feeling that you need to share your magic with everyone? You understand? So it's quite a deep direction to take. So you have to be very sure. You have to be very sure. But trust me, the results are gratifying. And my encouragement will be, believe in yourself. You really need to strive to do and be your best, and do not stop trying, because it's not easy, as I said, and you'll not get it the first time or the second time or the 100th time. You might, but you need to be persistent and you need to be very, very patient. But once your efforts start cashing in, you'll be the happiest person alive. Trust me. Thank you so much, and enjoy.
You're welcome. And thank you so much, Alfie, for giving us those tips and being part of this amazing episode. One of the greatest artists of all time, Pablo Picasso, once said that the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. And that's what you've done today. Asante sana. this day in the year 1969, Apollo 11 launched from Cape Kennedy, Florida, carrying Commander Neil Armstrong and Command Module pilot Edwin Buzz Aldrin into an initial Earth orbit of 114 by 116 miles, which took about 12 minutes. This event was televised to an estimated 650 million people. This was the first attempt to land a man on the moon, marking what had been termed as a new era of civilization. Now you know. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like our Facebook page, Mwalimu Kipepeo, so you're notified when a new episode is posted. Please rate and review this podcast and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you are leaving having learned something new. I'm your host, Jasmine Wamboi. Until next time, take care and God bless.